morning, Spirit. I feel you in my heart. What a way to start each day. Good morning, Spirit. I can always feel your love. That'll be enough to light my day. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day. Good morning, Spirit. I feel you in my heart. What a way to start each day. Good morning, Spirit. I can always feel your love, and that'll be enough to light my way. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. Good morning, Spirit. It's gonna be a great day.
Good morning, everyone. It's a little bit of a gloomy day out there, but inside I just see all kinds of sunshine here. So welcome to you. And also, I would like to make a special welcome today to our persons who are sharing this service with us online. And I want you to know that wherever you are, we are holding you in a big, warm unity hug for the next hour. Do we have any people here for the first time today? Yes? Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. And let's give a little round of applause. That's great. And we have a gift for you in our bookstore. And if you want to check in there after the service, it's just off the lobby. And we also will give you a piece of paper. And if you would like to provide us with your email, then we will keep you in touch with what's happening here at Unity, but we promise not to bug you in any way. So glad you're here. Now, do we have a special announcement today at all? Wilda does.
Ahoy, Love Boat fans. I am Wilda Thomas, and I am entertainment director on the MS Unity Love Boat. And I am also part of the Love Boat Fun Crew. And there's many of you out there who are also part of the Love Boat Fun Crew. So I have 5 things to tell you this morning. First of all, what on earth is the Love Boat? Well, it's our fundraiser and fun time on October the 14th. So it's coming up in not too long. We're going to have great entertainment with Emilio Zeras and Jim and Carlin and their band, the Incontinentals. There'll be great food, a wonderful silent auction, and I just anticipate a wonderful time. So, firstly, the ticket packages are at the back. So that so look in there for your name and take your ticket package out so that you can see all of the details of what's going on. If for some reason you're looking for a ticket package and there's not one there with your name on it, I'm so sorry. But there are additional ones there, so please take one. Tickets will be starting to be on sale next week. Barb Rand's going to handle that for us, so she'll be out here in the fellowship hall, so she will do that. That was number 2. 3, we're going to have an amazing silent auction. And just because she doesn't have enough to do and is so well organized, our wonderful bookstore leader, Amber Needham, is also coordinating the silent auction for us. So, Amber, can you stand up just for a second? So, in the ticket package, there's also a form for the silent auction. So, what we're looking for is new and or gently used items, a value of approximately $50 or higher. Gift certificates are great. If you have a skill that you'd like to donate a gift certificate for, that is really great. Last year I bought the maintenance package that Ken Stubb organized, and that was a fabulous thing. And so anyway, just contact Amber about that. And last but not least, point number 4, we're having a committee meeting at 12 noon. So if you did not attend the last committee meeting but would like to be involved with this, there's still lots of great things for you to do. So thanks very much. That's it.
Thank you, Wilda. That sounds really fun, actually. So what we're going to do now is read together our vision. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission: we are a loving, inclusive community, co-creating with spirit to transform lives. And now let us sing.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Spirit sets my light ablaze, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit sets my light ablaze, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit sets my light ablaze, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I won't let anyone put it out, I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone put it out, I'm gonna let it shine. I won't let anyone put it out, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. For all to see, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine for all to see, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine for all to see, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light is part of me, I'm gonna let it shine. This light's at the heart of me, I'm gonna let it shine. I will chase the dark away, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's really do this last verse. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Nicely done, folks.
As you know, Unity's foundation is affirmative prayer. If you wish prayer for someone else or for yourself, you're invited to use our prayer box just up here. Put a first name only on a piece of paper and place it in the box. No need to explain the situation, as the Spirit is all-knowing. It will be prayed over here at Unity by our prayer angels for 30 days and then sent on to Silent Unity for additional prayer. Remember, 24 hours a day you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY to reach Silent Unity, where people have been praying with and for people for over 130 years. Now, if you wish private one-on-one prayer, we have a prayer chaplain available to pray with you following today's service. And you can meet our prayer chaplain in our prayer room, just through Fellowship Hall, up there and to the back. Today's prayer chaplain is Wilda. Please come forward and lead us in prayer.
So if you just close your eyes, please. And we go to our heart space to spirit within. And we are grateful for all of the joyous, happy sounds here at Unity of London this morning. And we bless everyone that is here, everyone that is listening to us online, and everyone who is also at a church of their own, celebrating the one great Spirit. And so, if you could just think of anyone that you know that cannot be here today and just whisper their name softly into this space, blessing them as they go forth in body or spirit today. And we especially bless this morning Unity of Kitchener and Unity of London, who are meeting at this same time as well. So as we go forth today, we just remember that we are the Spirit of the Divine, that we have all of the power that we need in this world, all of the joy, all of the happiness, all of the health, all of the zeal, everything that we need is here for us right now. And we affirm we are open to receive everything that is ours to receive. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
And now our message from the Daily Word, brought to you by Silent Unity. Creative process. I am a divine expression of infinite creative energy. Symbolically, the 7 days of creation, as described in the Bible, correspond to the 7 stages of the creative process. The book of Genesis also shares that humankind was created in the image of God. It stands to reason, then, that I must be an expression of that same divine energy and an essential part of the creative process. As such, I birth divine ideas into tangible expression in this mortal experience. The creative process is sparked by a vague restlessness, a dissatisfaction with what is. Ideas become manifest, and clarity begins to take shape when I surrender to the process and affirm I am a divine expression of infinite creative energy. So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27.
Since Carlin and I first appeared on the stage here back in May, we've written a number of original tunes for Unity of London, and we've been very blessed that people have responded well to them. We've had a number of requests to repeat some of them, so we decided that this week we'd repeat a couple that we did before, the two that we've been asked the most for. And this first one is a message for all of us. It's called Live by the Spirit. Sometimes you go to church on Sunday and you leave there feeling fine. Then comes Monday morning and your life feels out struggle right along. You don't want to live that way, please listen to this song, 'cause we should live by the Spirit every day. You can sing along if you want. Should live our faith in every way, from Sunday through to Saturday. Shine the light and show the way. Live by the Spirit every day. Now Spirit gives us wisdom to know what we should do, and faith can give us courage to see any challenge through. It's up to us to fill the cup, be the best that we can be. So make the choice and raise your voice and sing along with me, 'cause we should live by the Spirit every day. Live by the Spirit every way. On Sunday through to Saturday, shine the light and show the way. Live by the Spirit every day. There is so much that we can learn, and some that we can teach. The best way to a happy life is to practice what we preach. So buckle down and buckle up, let the love speak you along. Spirit wants what's best for you, so join me in this song. 'Cause we should live by the Spirit every day. Should live our faith in every way, from Sunday through to Saturday. Shine the light and show the way. Live by the Spirit every day. Let's do that once more. We should live by the Spirit every day. We should live our faith in every way, from Sunday through to Saturday. Shine the light and show the way, and live by the Spirit every day. Yes, sir, we should live by the Spirit every day. We're gonna live by the Spirit every day. Thank you.
It's my pleasure this morning to introduce Georgia March, someone who is very well known and loved by us as our message giver. Georgia is an author and an inspirational speaker. She studied with Mary Morrissey and is certified as a dream builder coach. She's also a certified NGH hypnotist. Her art is currently with the Norman Felix Gallery in Toronto, and she inspires people through art classes at For the Love of Art Gallery in London. She is a musician, a composer, and a gifted healer. Georgia is a co-facilitator of both the Women in Harmony group and Ruby Tuesday, a community music program. The mural she designed for Unity of London can currently be seen hanging outside the building on the east wall. Between 1993 and 2009, Georgia lived in Northwest Africa, Spain, Turkey, and Brazil, a 16-year adventure that led to remarkable experiences and success. Let's warmly welcome Georgia.
Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be back here with you today. Thomas was a skeptic. He really had doubts about a lot of things if he couldn't see them, touch them, taste them, if they weren't absolutely obvious in his world. He especially had doubts about spirituality. One day he was going for a walk in the forest, and he was focusing not on anything spiritual, but on some problem he was wanting to work out scientifically. And that's when he tripped, fell over a root, and halfway down a cliff. Halfway down because it did manage to grab a branch, which was wonderful, but it wasn't a very long branch and it had a crack in it. As he looked down, he saw that he was being watched by a grizzly bear who was coming along. Now, Thomas started to sweat. I know, it's really tricky. And at this point he said, okay, I have never actually believed anything, but I've heard people say that prayer works. Prove it to me and I will believe forever. And then he looked down and saw the grizzly bear stand up with his arms and say, thank you for the meal I'm about to receive. Today we're talking about 2 feet of light. And we can be skeptical or we can open our minds and go forward. What does it mean to have 2 feet of light? I hope today to help you to understand what it could mean for you, where it might take you, and how you can leave what you had behind. So when we stand, in 2 feet of light, we could imagine that we're out camping or in the forest, and all we have is a flashlight. And that's as much as you can see. And that's really what you have to stay in the present. If your light comes from in, which we believe it does, then you want to expand it to that full 2 feet, but you really don't need to go any further ahead. I'm sure you have driven at night, and all you can see ahead of you is the distance from the headlights in front of you. Or maybe you've been in a snowstorm. We have 1 or 2 of those sometimes in Ontario. And in whiteout conditions, you can't even see that. You might be completely in the fog. One time, I was a little girl with my sister in the car with my father, and the fog was so dense that he had to open his car door to see the line, and he was afraid to stop because someone behind him would plow in. But he still had enough light to see. We still got to our destination safely. And if you expand the light inside of you, you will get to your destination safely because you really don't know what it is. Jack Cornfield from The Wisdom of Sundays says, to live an awakened life is to be here in the reality or the present, in the now, which is all we have, and to recognize that thoughts about the future are thoughts. You can use them, but you don't have to believe them, because half of the time they don't come true. And thoughts about the past are gone. The past you can learn from. Ralph the dog lived with his owner Brent. What Ralph liked to do most of all was to go for his morning walk. But when he woke up this one particular morning, Brent was busy on the computer. To be specific, he was on an online dating site. Brent was very agitated and excited at the same time and totally focused on the computer. So Ralph got a trip to the back garden and an apology. Well, that worked for Ralph for a minute or two. And then he put his paw on Brent's knee and looked up at him and whined a little bit. Walk, I like my walk. And Brent said, go lie down, Ralph. So Ralph went, he was a very good dog. He went and he laid down, and he laid there for an eternity. And an eternity in dog years is about 3 minutes. And then he came back and he put his paw on Brent's knee, and he looked up and he barked a little, woof, like, let's go. And Brent said, just go and lie down. I'll be with you in a minute. But Brent was so focused that he didn't realize that his minutes were not lining up with Ralph's minutes. And after Ralph had spent 3 or 4 eternities in dog years, he said, I am done with this. So he went, he got his own leash, he threw it on Brent's leg, and Brent said, okay, I give up. I will take you for your walk. They started out on the walk, and Brent was not paying attention. He was busy on his phone texting the person on the other end of the online dating. Ralph felt like he really wasn't doing his job. As a dog, he had come here to instruct Brent to all the beautiful smells that were in the universe, to nature and the birds and everything that was good about the earth, and Brent wasn't paying attention. Ralph felt helpless. What can I do? Fortunately, because he was in his divine place, a cheeky squirrel came up and ran around Brent's legs, and Ralph took chase. So within a very short time, Brent was completely tied up and fell over onto the ground. An extremely attractive woman came by. She looked down and said, I would help you up, but I can see that your dog is spending time with you. And she popped a little card in his pocket and walked away. After a few minutes, Brent had managed to extricate himself from this cord and get the dog organized. He picked his phone up and he pulled the card out of his pocket, and the card said, it will never work out with the girl, but the dog is here for you now. Brent turned off his phone and took the dog to the park. We get distracted. We get distracted by shiny things. We see something over there, a pretty girl. Ooh, shiny thing. We see a job that we think we really want, even though it's way too much for us, and we go, ooh, shiny thing, I can do that. We get involved in relationships that are, ooh, shiny things on the outside. Now, my personal experience with this, and maybe you can relate, one day I decided to marry the wrong man. Now, at that time, I was not as spiritually evolved as I am now. So I did ask for a sign. I said, please let me know if this is a bad idea. I put on my wedding dress that morning, which was too big. It was quite a bit too big. We haven't bothered to alter it. We just said it would be fine. So as I was walking down the stairs, I tripped over the hem and fell down. But I got myself up, scraped myself off, didn't see any sign there. And then I went to the church, and my father said, are you sure you really want to do this? You do not have to do this. You're young. You really don't have to do this. And I said, oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So that was another sign I missed. Then I began to walk down the aisle. Now, this was really tricky because the dress was big and falling off my shoulder. I was afraid my breast was going to be exposed. I'm holding a very heavy basket of flowers, not a bouquet, but a big basket, and trying to keep my arm in my father's arm as I walk down, smile at people, keep the dress on, the whole thing. Was not a sign. I didn't see that sign. No, did not see that sign. I get to the altar. We come to the part where I am to say, I do, and I begin to choke. I begin to cough and choke. My eyes are streaming with water. I am choking so badly that they have to take me out to the ministry office for 20 minutes and give me water, and I went back in and said, I do. I did not see the signs. We get attracted by shiny things, and we miss the signs. Sometimes we have foggy ideas. We get foggy ideas about what our relationships are supposed to be, who we're supposed to be committed to, what we're supposed to do. Perhaps someone wants you to volunteer for something, and you think, this would be a good thing for me to do because I need to do this volunteer work, instead of, I love doing what they're asking me to do. This is what I want to do. And then there's the family thing. We all have one of those. As my friend Maeve, who's out running a marathon this morning and couldn't be here, likes to quote someone, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who says, if you think you're spiritually aligned, spend a day with your family. Truer words were never spoken. What is it about walking through the door of a family home or into a family gathering and you are suddenly 6 years old? You are no longer the spiritually evolved, wonderful person you are. Or if you are better at being spiritually evolved, you really have to work it and work it and work it, because you're in a pattern. We have patterns, and we create them. Now, a lovely woman I went to have tea with recently, her name was Sarah. She had greeted me at the door with a dog. Sarah never had a dog before. This was a big dog. And I said, oh, you got yourself a dog. She said, no. It was my son's friend's dog. He had no place for the dog to go while he went into a new apartment. I said, really? So you've taken on the dog? She said, yes. She said, but I don't want to keep the dog. I mean, the dog is good, but I don't want to keep the dog, and I wanted to give it to someone. However, I couldn't give it to someone because it didn't have any paperwork. I had no history on the dog, so I took it to the vet and I spent $300. So now I have a dog that I don't want and a $300 vet bill. And then through our conversation, I said, well, how is your life going? Well, my son moved back in. And I said, well, how's that going for you? Well, it's not really that great. I mean, he did break up with his wife because of his drinking, and that's why he's back at home with me. So we continued to have a very nice tea, and this is a spiritually aligned person. And when we were sitting there, getting close to the end of our tea, she said, well, you know, I said if I ever got to this age, I would just open my door and whatever came in, I'd allow in. And I said, how's that working out for you? I said, would you like another dog? She said, no. I said, would you like another alcoholic son moving back in? She said, no. I said, you know, you could change that idea. You do not have to stay committed to ideas that you made when you were not spiritually aligned. You can let them go. And they might not have even been your ideas. They might have been someone else's ideas. She might have been sitting with someone who said, oh, let's make a commitment that when we're a certain age, we just accept everything and we're just in the light. We feel so good today. No, don't do it. Change that. You can change anything. My favorite poem is this one. It's by Portia Nelson, and I think it describes perfectly why these things happen to us. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend that I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in this same place, but it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a pattern. But my eyes are open. I know where I am. I am responsible for this experience. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. You get to pick your streets. You get to pick and choose. What is a prison for one person is a divine space for another. What makes a prison for you? There was a prisoner, an actual prisoner in the prairies, and it was a small prairie prison, and he'd been brought in. I don't know what he did, but he was brought in, and he was there for several weeks. And during that time, he kept singing, and the jailer kept telling him to stop singing. And he wouldn't stop, so the jailer would go in and beat him up. And the man would sing again. As soon as he got well enough, he would sing again, and then the prison guard would beat him up. And this went on, and then finally one day, the prison guard opened the jail doors, and he said, "You can go." And the man said, "Thank you. What changed your mind?" And he said, "I can't rehabilitate you." What kind of prisons might you be creating for yourself? It could be the can't prison. I can't do this because, and then you'll make some reason up to fit into that can't. I can't do this even though I really want to because of some family obligation. There are no can'ts. There may be something that you can't see right now because you are only in 2 feet of light. That is all you need. You only need to see this far. Have you ever wondered why something wonderful happened that you weren't even planning, that you didn't even think of at all? But then all of a sudden something marvelous occurred. It's because you were standing in your light here. And so that when you step this far, you were still in your light, and then wonderful things happened for you. How do we get in the light? Through prayer and meditation. I like to believe that prayer is a walking experience. So when you wake up in the morning, you're in your bed, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for this bed." And then you take a few steps. "Thank you, my body is working today. Thank you, my body feels good." And then you go out and you have a drink of water. "Thank you, I am in a place where I can just turn on the tap and have fresh water." And if you continue to have a walking prayer continuously throughout every day, you never have to pray separately. You're just always in prayer mode. You are always in line in your light, in your 2 feet of light. And all of those good feelings that you have move you forward into where you want to be. And it feels so good to be there because you've been in the light here. So for instance, you might want to have more fun in your life. You could write an intention. "I'd love to have more fun in my life." Until it starts to happen. "I'd love to have more fun in my life." "Okay, I'd love to have more fun in my life." And then all of a sudden someone comes up to you and they invite you to some place and you say, "Oh no, I won't go. That's okay. I'll just be here by myself." And you're missing out on the fun. Just like I was when I was marrying the wrong man, not listening to the signs. Sometimes we ask for things and then we don't acknowledge that the answers are right there. But they are. If you open yourself up, the answers are right there for you. Now I'm going to mention the M word again. Meditation. You know, you hear me talking about meditation every time I come here. When you meditate, you feel better. My partner David is a truck driver, and he said he heard a person talking, and the person said, I was at a 12-step meeting, and someone stood up and said, I don't get meditation. I don't get it at all. All I know is that when I do it, I'm not emotionally attached to anything that happens for the rest of the day. I can just be and let it go. Nothing is ever going to stop circumstances from happening, but it's how you respond, not react, that will light the next 2 steps that you take or the next step. And so if you find that you're going mostly 3 steps forward, left and right, 2 steps backward, that's all right. You're still going ahead. You're still making progress. And that's a good thing. Now, just in case you didn't know, we do have meditation here at Unity, and it's starting on Thursday, and I will be there. I would love, one of my dreams is to see our morning meditations here at Unity full. That extra 30 minutes that you give yourself to get up and get here can just light up this light that you're in for the rest of the day. However, it's up to you. If you would like to stay in the dark, you can. Being in the light like this little fellow is who you are. This is how you came in. This is how you can be at any moment in the day. You can say to yourself, okay, I'm the light. This morning in our meditation, we focused just on vibration in one part of the body. So you can take that light and put it anywhere in yourself and start to feel that vibration and let it move out from there. And as that happens to you, you'll find that everything falls into place all around you, even though circumstances don't necessarily say that. But you feel good. So the next time you go into a tricky situation with your family, you're really yourself. The next time someone asks you to do something and it's not, you don't want the dog, you don't want the alcoholic son, you can say, no, thank you. I'm going to stay in my light. I am going to shine from here and be who I am. The best thing about Unity is that it understands that the law of attraction continues to work, not just some of the time, but every moment of every day. So when you stay in that light, you understand that. Okay, I only have to be here. I can keep coming back to here. I know where I am. Then you will be in your light, and you can shine as brightly as this little fellow at any time and any place. Let's take that into meditation. I invite you to close your eyes, place your feet on the ground, and feel completely and totally relaxed and at peace with yourself. And just imagine that that light of yours is right in the center of your body, near your solar plexus, where all the emotions tend to gather. And you could simply let that light shine. Let that light grow and glow. Feel it moving out into the other parts of your body, into this room, way beyond where you can see it. And you can continue to remind yourself, oh yeah, that light is there. I am that light. No one can ever put it out. If the dimmer switch goes on, I can make it bright again, simply by focusing on this light that I am. In your mind, silently repeat, this light that I am, this light that I am, this light that I am is mine. It is my light. I am here. I am the light. Now that you've brought your light to the surface, you can bring it into this day and let it shine out to everyone you meet as you open your eyes and gently come back into this room.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Now it's our time for the giving and receiving of your tithes and offerings. Let us affirm our prosperity together as our greeters pass our offering bags. If you have been holding an intention card, we ask that you place it in the offering bag as well. We see those intentions unfolding now. Intention cards are available at the back of the sanctuary and are a statement of what you want to achieve, either as a plan for your day or for your life.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. I mentioned earlier that we were going to do a couple tunes today, original tunes that were written for Unity of London, and this one ties in very well with George's little story about Ralph the dog. And I said when we did this the last time that for many years on my desk has stood a little plaque, and it says, "My goal in life is to be the kind of person my dog thinks I am." And I've always thought that if you know dogs, as I do, I've always thought that that's a very positive sentiment, because dogs only see the best in us and they love us unconditionally, and I think that's a message for all of us, for the people in our lives too. But this is a tune called "Who I Try to Be," and it's about my dog. I believe a dog can be man's best friend for sure. I bet that goes for women too, 'cause a canine's love is pure. understand. Sorry, I lost my way here. Old, I guess. He reminds me every day to be a better me. He thinks I'm gentle, kind, and generous, compassionate and strong, loving, caring, good at sharing, and knowing right from wrong. If he could talk, I think my dog would say these things of me. And the person my dog thinks I am is who I try to be. I live my life most every day the best way that I can. I try to prove by what I do that I know where I should stand. Even if I find myself unsure of what to do, I remember what my best friend thinks, and that will see me through. He thinks I'm gentle, kind, and generous, compassionate and strong, loving, caring, good at sharing, and knowing right from wrong. If he could talk, I think my dog would say these things of me. And the person my dog thinks I am is who I try to be. Yeah, the person my dog thinks I am is who I try to be. All you dog lovers out there.
Let's bless our offering. God, we know that everything we have has come from you and belongs to you. We are thankful to give a portion of our financial abundance through our tithes and offerings to this spiritual community. Unity nourishes us so that we may be your light in the world. Thank you, God. Amen. And guess what day it is? Celebration Sunday. So if you have something to celebrate, please come up here and share it with us.
Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on.
I want to celebrate my sister being here. It is such a pleasure to have her around me. Yeah, I think you all know that.
Well, we had a huge family reunion in August, and I had the job of finding all the pictures long ago and past, and it was just great. It was one of those things, 2 feet of light, and it came together. I don't know how, but it was great. We had cousins from all over Canada and the United States, so it's been a long time since we had that, so it was wonderful.
Good morning, everyone. I'm celebrating the back-to-school children, so if you are all out and about, beware, there are a lot of them around. Anyway, and speaking of children, I'm celebrating my son's 21st birthday tomorrow, and my middle-born, and it's incredible how they just grow up to be 6'5". So anyway.
Hi, everyone. It's funny. It's celebration time, and I was thinking, what do I say? Oh, yeah, it's my birthday on Thursday. So it's my birthday on Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday. Yeah. Talking about 2 feet in the light. I've just been through an experience that was exactly that. My son-in-law lost both his parents within 3 weeks. His mom, we buried her on Friday. And Thursday night after the visitation, Paul and I ended up being in the kitchen by ourselves, and he just opened his heart and told me what had been going on for the last 5 years and how he didn't know how he was keeping it together. And, you know, I let him talk, and at the end of it, I said to him, Paul, I said, you are going to be fine. And I said, you know you can call Pete and I any time of the day or night, and we'll be there for you. So, yeah, there was all of that. So to balance that out, I also got a call from my eye surgeon not too long ago to tell me that the dry macular degeneration in my left eye is getting bigger, and there's nothing they can do about it. So I went out of the light for a short period of time, and the surgeon had already contacted CNIB, and there are so many ways that they can help me. I don't have to worry about being able to read properly or that I'll have to give up my computer. I can still drive because I can see okay. I can see enough to drive. And I also found out there's a visiting library. If I don't want to go to the library, I just have to call them and tell them my favorite authors, and they'll be on audio books or large print, and I can pick them up at the library. So thank you, Spirit. You're always keeping us in the light.
Sure, Arthur. Thank you, Georgia, for the most inspirational experience I've ever had in this church with the speaker, and there's been some amazing speakers here. But to talk about the light, because I'm a fellow healer, but what I want to say is I was connected with Unity years ago, and then life happened, as they say. But now I'm back, and what I found here the first day, I found that I was at home here. And this community is totally heart-centered. And I've been to other churches, and I still support another church, which is wonderful. But it's not the same as coming here. And we're doing this amazing, forget the heading, but it's prosperity and abundance, and it goes on until the end of October. And everybody should experience it because it covers everything. And I thought I was evolved. No, we never are, and we can never stop learning. And the support and sharing here. God bless you all.
Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on.
Let's join hands for our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as a creator, family all are we. Let's walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.
And let's remember today that when we walk in prayer throughout our day and when we meditate, that we are firmly in our own light.
Surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Yay. Spread the word of what unity can offer. Spread the word of the message that you heard. Spread the word of what it means to you in your life. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word of all the things we shared this morning. Spread the word. If you're surrounded here by love, spread the word. That our doors and hearts are open. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. To anyone who's lost and lonely, spread the word as you go forth from this family. Spread the word. Spirit welcomes all who come here. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Of all the things we shared this morning, spread the word. If you're surrounded here by love, spread the word. That our doors and hearts are open. Spread the word, 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 spread the word. Have a great week, everybody.